I'm Laura Vitale, and on this episode of Laura in the Kitchen, we're making Nonna's Parmigiana di Melanzane. We're making her famous eggplant parm. I shared it with you over 10 years ago. It was definitely time to update it. The recipe itself is not that different, but obviously it's much better quality. So let me share with you how to make her eggplant parm. We're going to do it two ways. We're going to do it home style, and we're also going to do it al forno baked, and I'll show you the two differences when we get there. So let's get started by making a sauce, a very nice, easy, simple marinara sauce. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, anytime I make eggplant parm, I make it on a Sunday, and I make it when I'm making sugo. So I always use the sauce from the sugo or the meat sauce, to make my eggplant parm. But if I make it any other time, I make a very simple marinara sauce like my nonna does. She's been doing it like this for years and years and years. But when I was little and my nonna was still here, when my nonna was still alive, he used to say, it is not Sunday without eggplant parm. And it really wasn't. We always had eggplant parm on Sunday, so this just reminds me of my nonna. Okay, let's make the sauce. In my little Dutch oven here, I'm gonna add a good amount of good olive oil. You see the color? That green, beautiful color, that's good indication that it's good oil. Add some garlic. I don't add onion here to a fresh marinara sauce, just a little bit of garlic. And then and I don't even chop the garlic. You heard me say before, in a real Italian household, especially when my uncles and my dads are involved, you leave the garlic whole so you can easily remove it and you don't bite down on it. All right, now, for the tomatoes, I'm using some San Marzano in really thick, beautiful puree, and I just crush them with my hand. You can use a puree, you can use a crush, you can use it whatever your heart desires. Then you need some fresh basil. I'm going to use a little bit of peperoncino, hot pepper flakes, some salt, and that's pretty much it. It's going to be a very simple marinara sauce, but it's really delicious, especially if you're using good quality tomatoes. They're nice and sweet. You don't have to add much to them, right? But like I said, if you're making this on a Sunday, you would want to use sugo. You know what I mean? I'm going to let that sizzle. I want the garlic to just kind of sizzle a little bit so that the flavor can infuse, and then we move forward. Add a nice pinch of hot pepper flakes. That smells so good. It smells really garlicky already. Add your tomatoes. Stand well back so that nothing splashes. And that's it. Easy peasy, right? Smells fantastic in here. You gotta use when you use few ingredients, they gotta be good. You know what I mean? Good pinch of salt. Tear your basil. Got a good stir. Lid on, partially. And now you just let this just gently simmer. I'm gonna just throw this. When I say throw, you'd be surprised at how many people think that I'm actually gonna be violently throwing something across the room. I'm gonna place this baby on the back burner, and we can start to fry our eggplant. All right, so I've got some eggplants that have been sitting here. I just got to slicing. Ideally, you'd want your eggplants to look like this, about this size, nice and firm. This is what I call my Italian eggplant. If you guys have been watching for the summer, and if you've been following me on Instagram this summer, you know our eggplant patch has like wildly taken off, which we love. But what I was going to say is it's getting to the end of the eggplant blooming season, I guess, if you want to call it that. So some were like bigger than others. So anyway, I use a mandolin because I want them to be nice and thin. Please watch your fingers. We don't need anybody to go to the hospital, but you really do want them to be really nice and thin. Now let's talk eggplant. So some people will take this step to salt and weigh down their eggplant, then rinse them, and then do the step that I'm about to do. I've never done it that way because my nonna's never done it that way. She's always cut them really, really thin, cooked them in light olive oil, which is what I'm doing. I'm bringing it to temperature. And what you do is you dredge them in a little bit of flour, okay? We need to add some salt to the flour and some pepper, okay? You dredge them in flour. Let me grab a fork. And then you dip them in eggs, parmigiano, salt, and pepper. And I know what you're thinking, where are the breadcrumbs? They are not breadcrumbs. If you go to Naples, if you go to Napoli, if you go to my nonna's house and you get eggplant parm, you will never get a breaded eggplant, a piece of eggplant. That's an eggplant cutlet, which is delicious, and we make them a lot because they are that good, but not eggplant parm. And we're making parmigiana napoletana, okay? We're making it parmigiana di casa and parmigiano al forno. And this is how I've eaten it my whole entire life. If you went to my dad and you coated his mother's parmigiana in breadcrumbs, I think he would lose it. I'm not gonna lie to you, okay? I think he would lose it because it's just not how we grew up doing it, and I want to share with you my Nona's version because I want you to experience the same goodness I did, okay? So another thing my Nona will do sometimes is that she will double fry her eggplant. So she will fry it as is just to sort of cook it halfway through, then do this process. I think that's, listen, I love my Nona, I'll never tell her otherwise, but between you and I don't do that because the eggplant tends to absorb too much oil and I don't need it to. But because I'm cutting it nice and thin and I'm cooking it over medium heat, not any higher, the eggplant's gonna have a chance to cook all the way through and it was going to be delicious and it won't absorb as much oil, right? There's no need for me to cook it twice. So I'm going to dredge, and then when we dip and add them to the oil, I'll show you what it will look like. All right, these are all ready. You can see there's no excess flour on them. You want to shake them off. The flour really helps the egg mixture adhere. Shake off the excess mixture of the egg, and you add that right in. Like I said, medium heat, not any hotter, because you want to make sure your eggplant cooks all the way through. And I'm using light olive oil. I don't really use anything else really for shallow frying. So you can see it's bubbling up. Good things are happening already, but it's not boiling ferociously. You don't want it to, because then you'll just end up having a raw center, and we don't want that. So as soon as this batch is ready, I want to show you what it looks like, and then when I show you that, then I'll just carry on. I'm just going to get a large platter with paper towels and get it ready for draining. That's what you want them to look like. I just flipped them after a couple minutes. You want them to be a beautiful golden brown color. You don't want them to burn, because otherwise you'll get a really bitter flavor. We don't want that, and you also don't want to burn your oil. So take them out. I'm going to pat these dry with another layer of paper towel. I'm going to salt them. Okay, and I'm just basically going to do this whole thing. I'll put a more paper towel on top, and I'm just going to continue to do this until all of my eggplant is cooked. Eggplant all done. See how many I've got here? Now let's see how much we'll make with the sauce that we got, because I fried more eggplant than I needed to, because in our family, one of the best things before you even sit down to eat when you're making eggplant parm is the fried eggplant to munch on. Let's make al forno, okay? We take a little bit of sauce, not much. And here's another misconception about eggplant parm, is that it's drowned in sauce, and it really isn't. It's just sort of like kissed by a little bit of sauce, right? So al forno, you're gonna take your beautiful golden eggplant, okay? And I just sort of stack them like that. All right, you do a little bit of sauce on top, like so, okay? Then you do Parmigiano, freshly grated, a little bit of mozzarella, not the mozzarella, you can use a little bit of provola, but the mozzarella like this, that's sort of like dry. It's not in a tub of liquid, because otherwise it makes the whole thing go really liquidy, and nobody wants that. You're going to do another layer, like so. Last one, I made a nice big deep one. Okay, and then on top, this one does not get mozz, it just gets sauce. A little bit of sauce. Yeah, more sauce than I thought. Good, I'm making some pasta with it. We'll see, depending on how it goes. And this one just gets a good amount of parm on top. Okay, and I'm purposely putting this, I purposely put this in a glass dish so that you can see in there all the layers. I'm gonna go ahead and pop this in a 375 oven about 20 minutes, and in the meantime we'll do the other one. Last one, well, you know, this other one, show you. This is how you make it. Parmigiana di melanzane di casa, okay? Nice flat layer, okay? Oh, we're gonna be eating so good tonight. I cannot wait. I mean, I always say that because I like to think we always eat good around here, but oh, let me tell you, Nona's food just hits different. You know what I mean? It just hits different. And like I said, it's not swimming in sauce. Does not need to swim in sauce. Fresh parm. This time, no mozz, because this is not going in the oven. The one that Nonna makes like this does not go in the oven. We'll get a nice 3 layers out of that. I mean, look at that. That was just perfect. Perfect, 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 you know? When I cook a lot, especially when I share things that I cook on IG, it's so difficult for me to even tell you what I use, how much of it I use, because when it comes to home food, who actually measures? Not me, ever. Get that in. Beautiful. And that cheese will melt in the warmth of the sauce and then the eggplant, and it is just phenomenal. Phenomenal. This is one of my nonno's favorite things in the world, and I miss him a lot. And tell you, food is incredibly powerful when it comes to bringing you closer or together or reminding you of a place and time. I always tell you, it's pretty transportative in every way. Well, maybe not pasta, but yeah, maybe some garlic bread. I use up all the sauce. It's okay, we made a lot of eggplant parm. I'm actually gonna take it to my neighbors. We're gonna go, we're gonna sit outside, we're gonna eat. It's gonna be beautiful. And that is it. That is eggplant parm di casa. And then parmigiana al forno. You know I have to do this because it would make me crazy otherwise. Okay. Now here's another thing. You would never go from dish to table, ever. Eggplant parm needs to sit. It needs to soak in those flavors. It should be served at almost room temperature. So this needs to sit, not gonna mess with it, even though I really want to. When the other one comes out, this will have been sitting for about 20 minutes. I'll give it a nice little taste test, but really, the baked one's gonna have to sit for a few hours. I can't help you there. But this one, let it sit for a minute, and then when that's done, I'll show you what it looks like. This beauty just came out of the oven and it is not ready to be served. It is going to need a good couple hours for it to set before you cut into it and serve. This one we can give a try, even though, like I said, it does typically take a little bit longer for it to sit. Look at this. But what are you gonna do? No? It is home food at its very best. The best. LaurenandKitchen.com. Got the recipe. You will love it. I know it. Hope you enjoy spending time with me, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.